Hello everybody. Welcome back to the vlog. Very excited to do yet another travel recap for you today. Hope you're staying safe and healthy and happy. Things are starting to get back to normal here in Utah, by the way. Restaurants are opening up. Businesses are opening up. I'm actually going to the gym today. The gym is opened back up. So things are getting back to normal. It feels very good. Slowly but surely we're getting there. Hope you guys are doing well. Also, today I am talking about a trip I did almost exactly 4 years ago to Turks and Caicos. So comment below if you've been to Turks and Caicos. It is in the Caribbean and it is absolutely gorgeous. Some of the bluest, clearest, cleanest water you will ever see. Some of the whitest sand you will ever see. Some of the whitest beaches. It was just absolutely stunning. I've been all over the world, seen beautiful beaches, beautiful ocean, beautiful water. This probably takes the cake as number one. So what happened is, it was our very first time, Jared and I, it was our very first round of doing adventure hunts. And I was down in Miami, finishing up one that we had done down there. And it went really well. And Garrett, my travel buddy, he was going to Turks and Caicos the next day. And I was like, man, I'm in Miami, which is like clear down in the southern part of Florida, near, in the Caribbean essentially. And so I looked online just to see what a flight might cost to get over to Turks and Caicos. And round trip was like $148. So I was like, no brainer, I'm out of here. So I left shortly after our event was over in Florida. I got on a plane, flew down there, met up with him and his brother Tyler and some other people that he knew, and we had an absolute blast. One of the funnest days I have ever experienced was in Turks and Caicos. We as a group rented a boat, a wakeboarding boat, a Mastercraft, and we went wakeboarding in the Caribbean, and Garrett brought the drone. We got epic footage. It was truly one of the most incredible experiences of my entire life. Now, as if all of that wasn't good enough, I mean, look at it, we're wakeboarding right by sailboats in this crystal blue water, and like it was so incredible. We catch wind of this shipwreck that is just a couple miles offshore, and it's a ship that is literally stuck on a sandbar out in the ocean. And it has been there for like 20 years. It's a Russian ship, and so I asked the driver of the boat that we've rented, I said, is this true? Is there really a ship, offshore? And he's like, oh yeah, I can take you if you want. And so we discussed as a group, we want to forfeit 2 hours of wakeboarding to cruise out there and do that and snorkel out there and jump off this boat and stuff. And I was all for it, and everybody else was as well. So we cruise out there, and sure enough, there is a ship that is stuck on a sandbar, all rusted and old. And we got to climb up on top of it. We were jumping off, the boat into the water. I mean, it is stuck on a sandbar, so the water's not super deep. You were able to you'd actually hit the bottom just very lightly when you jumped in. It was probably, I would guess, about 10 feet deep. But again, it's super clear, crystal clear water, so there's tons of fish all over that we're snorkeling down and seeing. I climbed up into the crow's nest, up like the big tower, you know, on the ship up to the crow's nest. It was so rusty, I was very nervous. Like there was one spot where I actually ripped a handle off, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go any further than this. So just like such a unique and incredible experience to be able to climb around and explore this old shipwreck, jump off of the top of it a few different times and snorkel around, coupled with the epic wakeboarding in the Caribbean. Truly and sincerely one of the funnest days of my entire life. Another cool thing I remember about this trip is we had just recently gotten our shipment in of our first batch of the KZ floatable sunglasses. Jared and I had a sunglasses business before Adventure Hunt called KZ, and we specialized in sunglasses that float. So I had the perfect opportunity down there to get some epic footage of the sunglasses floating in this pristine environment. And so I took the GoPro, got some great shots of the different shades floating in the water, and we went scuba diving down there. And the scuba diving was, again, some of the clearest water I've ever seen. I mean, the visibility, usually the visibility in scuba diving, you're pretty excited if it's like 20 plus feet, or 30 plus feet. You're like, maybe not excited, but you're pleased. And if it's 50 plus, you're like, this is amazing. This was like hundreds of feet that you could see. It felt like you were just on land. It was so clear down there, the water was. We saw sharks, and I was swimming with them for a while, just following this shark around. There was another one that we found that Garrett swam up. I was following it, and Garrett swims up, and touches it, I remember. Just an incredible experience. We saw barracuda down there, which is, I got pretty close to him, probably a little too close, to be honest with you, but I stayed safe. But just the boat ride out, it's just this crazy blue water. And I remember you could see starfish on the bottom of the ocean, like for miles it felt like as we were driving. You could see these starfish. We had rented a car, and so we're cruising all around the island. We got on a boat and went to different islands. So Turks and Caicos, there's a few different islands. And we got up on and did some really cool hikes. I remember we went down into this cave that was just an incredible cave that went onto the beach. One day we're exploring another island and we found a really cool beach that was just totally empty. I mean, so many of the beaches there were empty, and they're just this beautiful white sand, beautiful blue water. And I had done this thing in Australia years ago where we got these big boulders and we would carry them so they'd sink us to the bottom of the ocean, and then you kind of have races running with these rocks on the bottom of the ocean. And you can see we can get the farthest, hold their breath the longest. So we did that at one point. That was really fun. We found a pier, a dock, and it's actually one of the pictures that I have chosen to blow up and frame and put in my house here on canvas. We stayed on that pier for quite some time, and we had the drone, got some great shots of us running and diving off the end. I put the sunglasses up, got some cool shots of that. Just an incredible day exploring these different beautiful beaches, doing different hikes. I remember I hiked out to this kind of volcanic rock island, and Garrett got the drone and flew around me. It's just a beautiful, beautiful part of the world. One of the prettiest islands I've ever been to. We just kind of cruised around. I remember we checked out some of the different local shops and things like that. We went to a restaurant and there was this band that was playing some really cool hip music. One of the songs was Mashed Potatoes, Peas and Cheese. I was just dying at like the lyrics that they had chosen for that song, but it was just an all-around pretty amazing experience. So that is Turks and Caicos. If you have a chance to go down there, you absolutely should. It is gorgeous. It is truly the most blue, pretty water and white sandy beaches you'll ever see. And so if you have a chance to go, you absolutely should. Love you guys. Hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you next time.